Welcome to the Terminal Exchange, the official podcast of Nussbaum Transportation, where we explore key issues and compelling stories in the trucking industry. I'm your host, Dayton Rumbold, and you're listening to episode 106, Telling Stories, The Rick Zaky Show. Rick has been a DJ, owned a limo company, and takes care for the small things, both in his health and his work life. Rick is an outstanding man and professional, so please tune in to this featured exchange. Welcome back to the Terminal Exchange, episode 106. Give it up for Rick Zaky. We got him in the studio today. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, I was shocked to find out that Rick Zaky, he's going on his 14th hour.
That's correct.
You came from Maryland?
Yeah, Northeast Maryland. I took my 10-hour break in Amherst, Ohio.
Yeah.
And then made my way out to Waukegan, Illinois. And now I'm back here in Hudson, Illinois.
Right.
To be with you today.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And you did like a drug test before this?
Yeah, I just did a drug test. So yeah, I'm right at 14 hours right now.
Oh my. I mean, that's impressive. Like when he told me this, I was floored, going on 14 hours and then still making time for something like this. So
sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to DJ. Can I call you DJ Rick Zaky?
Back in the day, that's like over 40 years ago, but yeah, right. I used to do that.
Yeah, so you have a great radio voice, and it's just something that's kind of really cool. And there's a lot of interesting stuff about your life that I think I'm going to learn from. You're going to teach me today, about trucking. You'll teach me a little bit.
If I can.
If you can. I think you can. I think you can do that.
Yes, sir.
But that DJ gig, how long did you do that for? Was that?
It was like 6 months.
Yeah.
I was in a secret island while I was in the military, that's located out in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Between U.S. territory and Russian territory.
Yeah.
And I did that back then, and it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, cool. Did you have like a name you went by?
The only name I went by was my own.
Yeah.
And I called it the Rick Zaky Show on the AFDG radio.
Has a nice ring to it.
Yep.
It does.
Definitely.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk a little bit just to get to know you, and we'll talk about trip planning, what makes a good, trip plan, cleaning out your trailer, how do you do that, some tips in the rest stop, and then about what does it mean to be purpose-driven. So excited to get to know you a little bit better.
Right.
How long have you been driving?
Since 1976. That's when I first got my driver's license. I started driving big commercial vehicles. I learned in the military back in 1979. Mm-hmm. And I started driving professionally in 1983. Mm-hmm. And I professionally CDL driving since 1983, right up until right now.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look really young. I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 62 years old.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep.
That's great. A testament to something we'll talk about too is health and wellness and on the road, what that looks like, and you're passionate about that, and so that's something that it means a lot to you.
It does, definitely.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, something you said was when you feel good, like and you're eating the right things, you won't have to worry about falling asleep at the wheel or stuff. Like it makes a difference.
Well, what makes a big difference is making sure you get your rest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should always make sure that you get 10 hours in the sleeper berth. Try to take advantage of as many of those 10 hours as you possibly can, because once you get on the road, the average for Nussbaum is somewhere in the area of 500 miles per day when you drive.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to make sure that you get your rest, along with good diet.
Yeah.
Along with good exercise. It gives you a good energy level.
Yeah.
And you know, you can get through your day pretty successfully.
Yeah.
And pretty much with an abundance of alertness.
Yes.
You know, that you need.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself, maybe about your family background, you know, where you grew up? What did that look like?
I'm the youngest of 9 children. My oldest sibling is now like 86 years old. And I'm the youngest at 62. I have a wife, and I have 8 children who are all adults now. My oldest is 35.
Yeah.
And my youngest is 18 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. So, you know, they're all out on their own?
They're all out on their own. The youngest 2 are in college right now, you know, trying to earn a degree. And I just wish them the best. I love them all.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that, you know, they look up to you, and that's something that...
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell them, give me a call whenever you need anything.
Yeah.
Maybe I could shed a little knowledge on it, a little wisdom on it.
Yeah.
And you could take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So my door is always open to them for anything that they need.
Yeah. It's the best you can do is be open and available.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So that brings up another question.
Yes, sir.
What other jobs? So you're a trooper. You were a DJ for a little bit on a remote island. What have you done?
I've also owned a limousine and motor coach bus company.
Yeah.
That I did right up until the end of this year. But this is the end of it for me at this year because I sold all of my vehicles.
Wow.
Yeah, so the only thing that I'm pursuing right now is just Nussbaum.
Right.
You know, I'm just looking to get in a certain amount of years with Nussbaum, get into the retirement program.
Right.
And, you know, because, you know, that time frame is coming upon me right now, so I'm just doing everything I can to save and get ready for retirement.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not the kind of person that will totally retire.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll always find something to do, and, you know, to keep myself busy and to supplement my own income however I can.
Yeah. Maybe you'll start another limousine company.
Who knows? The thing I don't like about limousine companies is a huge overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to make a buck that way.
Huge overhead maintenance.
Yep.
What did you like about it? What was the best part?
Oh, the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did weddings, and I met people who had just gotten married, and you know, there's just a lot of happiness with that. And there was a whole plethora of different types of occasions. So we had party goers. We did funerals. You know, we've taken diplomats. You know, back and forth. Yeah, there were some executive protection people. That's what the state troopers are known in my state for, protecting the governor. Yeah. Yeah, we've done some of their clients, you know, while they've had, you know, the armed executive protection. You know, so we've done that. And, you know, the bigger part of it was just airport transportation, you know, picking up, you know, higher end clients from the airport and taking them back home, back and forth.
What was like the most interesting client that you worked with? Any people there?
We've had a number of celebrities. You know, we've had you know, singers. We've had actors. We've had people from the media, from the news. You know, none of these names in which I have any permission to
disclose.
Disclose. That's correct. But yeah. I mean, we've taken care of you know, those people.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool meeting a lot of them.
Yeah. Wow. Looking at going back to your family a little bit, I also heard I was talking to Colin Dominic, and he used to be your DM.
Yes.
And he said that your son, or one of your sons, is a professional weightlifter.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, he just got the national champion. He lifts an incredible amount of weight for somebody that weighs somewhere, he fluctuates somewhere between 200 and 225 pounds.
Yeah.
And he can actually deadlift about 850. He may be even more than that now because he keeps working on himself and he just gets better and better and better all the time. So for his weight class, he now holds the record. His name is Khalil Zaky.
Yeah.
And you could find him on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yeah.
If you wanted to ever look him up. But yeah, he's got some really incredible numbers.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
800-pound deadlift.
850. He just did that in Las Vegas just a couple of months ago.
Wow.
And he bench presses in the 450-pound area.
Yeah.
Which is not, the best, but I mean, he calls himself a deadlift specialist.
Right, he's good at deadlift.
And that's what kind of gets him over the top, over his competition.
That's his edge.
That's his edge.
Yeah.
That's his edge. But then he also does squats, and he's lifting somewhere close to 700 pounds, if not more than 700 pounds at this point. So yeah, he's a pretty strong kid. Right.
I mean, you say his 450-pound bench press is not the best, but that's
right.
That's
a some of the guys can actually do better. Some of them can do 500.
Sure.
But they don't do 850, on the deadlift.
For sure.
And that's what makes a difference. And that's where he surprises everyone.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the competition, he knows what numbers he needs to put up.
To score, yeah.
To score. And that's where he usually, gets his edge from. And he's usually in the top 3, but, lately he's been like the number 1 guy.
No way.
He's the guy to beat these days.
Yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And did he get that from you? Is that something that?
No, he's got his own constitution.
Yeah.
About that kind of stuff. He's very driven. He's very talk about purpose driven. He's purpose driven as far as his diet, his exercise regimen, and his motivation to be the best. And basically, it's paying off for him.
For sure. So he just travels the world, and he'll go to competitions.
You mentioned the world. Yeah, he's been in London. He's been in Dubai. He's been in various parts of the United States, East Coast and West Coast. He's been south. And maybe a couple other places as well. I know he's been to Africa, but I'm not sure if he's done any kind of competition there. I don't think so. But yeah, he does travel the world.
Yeah.
And he does like to expose the sport to anyone that's interested in it.
For sure.
Yep.
And then for you, so I mean, this is something you have interest and passion behind.
Yeah, sure. I always spur him on, to do the best that he can and congratulate him whenever I can to, say, hey, good job, just keep it up.
That's powerful. Just knowing that someone, cares for you and supports you, that help is a lot.
Yeah, sure.
For you, what's your workout routine? Do you have one?
Basically, I'm a cardio guy, so I don't really do heavy weights like he does. Mm-hmm. Nussbaum came up with the Anytime Fitness program.
Yeah.
Where if you're a driver, if you make at least 4 visits per month, they will go ahead and take care of the cost or the fee. Your monthly fee to work out at Anytime Fitness. And I think if you're an office personnel, you have to go at least 8 times. Mm-hmm. But for a driver, I guess it's a little bit, tougher to
get the right spot. To
get the right amount of visits, per month. But I have a dedicated run that runs between York, Pennsylvania, Syracuse, New York, and Milford, Massachusetts, which is a suburb of Boston, Massachusetts.
Yep.
So I get a chance to, when I get off, like 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, to visit my local Anytime Fitness in York, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And then when I get in there, I stretch out. I do calisthenics while I'm there. And then the first thing I'll hit is the treadmill. And then my goal is to walk at least 2 miles within 15 minutes. Within 30 minutes.
Right.
And so the average speed there would be about 4 miles per hour on the treadmill. Then I move over to the overhead bars to do pull-ups. And I do like 5 sets of pull-ups, and I do 5 apiece. I have I'm pretty heavy. I weigh about 265 pounds. So I do about 5 sets of 5 repetitions on that. Then I move over to the bicycle, the stationary bicycle. And it has those kind of like moving handlebars that go back and forth at the same time that you could pump your legs.
Yeah.
And I do about 5 miles on that. And that takes about 15 minutes. So my average speed on that is about 20 miles an hour. And then I move over to the row machine. And I just kind of count off 100.
Yeah.
100 pulls.
Oh, wow.
And then other than that, maybe a little bit of dumbbell weights to do curls, and sometimes I do a French press, things like that. Work up a nice little sweat.
Yeah.
Take a shower, go home.
Yeah. Feel good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it energizes, and I'm at the end of a 12-hour day when I do that. So of course, by the time I get home, I'm ready to go to sleep. So it really works well for me to get a good sound sleep. And when I wake up for work the next day, I'm ready to go, and I'm feeling pumped.
That's awesome.
And it gives me an abundance of alertness.
Right.
Going down the road.
Right.
And so the other thing that helps to keep me alert is just kind of like brain activity.
Yep.
Just thoughts of things like family and. What I'm doing the next day, looking ahead, who I'm going to meet that night, and what I'm going to come up against. I'm just ready for whatever challenges may face me. So
you're thinking ahead.
Yeah, exactly that, and what do you call ebooks? Listen to ebooks.
No way.
While you drive. Yeah. Learn a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I tell you, with the amount of hours that I've had to be able to listen to things, I probably could have gotten myself another college degree. Just from the information that I can absorb with all of those hours of driving.
Yeah.
So it's great. I could take advantage of a lot of different things and do things with my time that keeps me alert.
Right. Something I don't want to skim over is you mentioned how you'll go to the gym after a 12-hour day of working.
Right.
And, casually you just said that, and it's like, that's not something to skim over. It's like our default nature, when we're tired like that, it's like I want to sit on the couch.
I do too.
Yeah.
But the difference is, and that's the same thing that my son seems like he picked up from me with what he does. I don't want to do it. When I go to the gym, I don't want to do it.
Right.
But once I get in there and then I start moving, putting one foot in front of the other, then now you want to do it.
Right.
And you want to do more, and you want to do more. And then you just want to get it over with because, you've gotten everything you needed out of it.
Yeah.
And then now it's time to quit, and then that makes me happy that I could now stop.
Right.
But then after you've done it, and I'm in my car driving back home, or basically the company truck.
Yep.
And I'm driving back home. I'm like, you know what? I didn't want to do this, but now I'm glad that I did do it. Because I feel great.
You feel great.
Right. Because I notice the times when I don't do it, and I say I don't feel like doing it. I'm not going to do it. And then it's like, man, I wish I would have done it because I don't feel that. I don't feel as good as. When I do the exercise.
For sure. Yeah. It's a weird thing where you actually feel better when you do it.
Right.
Instead of, you'd be more tired.
Yeah, exactly.
If you didn't do it.
Exactly.
And so if you're in the York, Pennsylvania, Anytime Fitness, hit Rick up.
That's right. I'm happy to help you out.
Happy to help you out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a really great thing that Nussbaum added. I think it's probably the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I mean, it's. I think all the employees here should take advantage of it. It's a good thing. It's good for your body.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for sharing your workout routine.
Oh, sure.
It's really interesting. Looking at the next couple questions. this is more of a fun question.
Sure.
What's on your bucket list? You said you're thinking when you're on the road. You're thinking about your family. You're thinking about what's going on. What are the things you're looking forward to? What's on your bucket list?
Well, I don't call it my bucket list.
Right.
I call it my life list.
Ah.
You know, because when you think about the bucket, it's like kicking the bucket. That means, you know, the end of things.
Right.
Now, this is my life list.
Yeah.
I have things in my life list. So I've been all over the United States, but there are 3 states that I haven't visited yet.
Yeah.
And that would be Minnesota, North Dakota, and Alaska.
Okay.
I've been to every other state.
No way.
So shout out to Nussbaum. If you ever have a trip that you want me to take to North Dakota, Minnesota, I know we're not going to Alaska.
Right.
I can do that one on my own. But hey, help me to at least knock off two of those states.
Okay. Let's get Rick.
Then I can say at least I've been in every one of the 48 states in the continental U.S. Yeah.
Let's get Rick to Minnesota and North Dakota.
That's right.
That can happen.
At some point.
That could happen.
It maybe can, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, you're in dedicated, so that makes it a little difficult.
Yeah, but you know, you could take me off of that for a week. And
yeah. There's stuff in Fargo. Yeah, we go to Fargo.
Oh, there you go. There you go. North Dakota, right?
Yeah.
That's
NDSU.
Right. And Minnesota, I'm pretty sure you got something going there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So you've been in a lot of states.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I've been to Alaska. It's a cool place, but I haven't been. I'm probably not even close to 25, 20 states. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
Going to the content of this episode, you mentioned cleaning out the trailers, stuff like that is important to you.
So I'm on a dedicated run. So my routine is I'll pick up a trailer that's loaded already. I'll take it to Syracuse, New York. I'll drop that load. And once that load is dropped, I take the remainder of what I have to Milford, Massachusetts. Now, once they unload that, I'll go back in the trailer with a broom that I have attached to the back of my truck. I have one of the newer 2022, 23 trucks, and it has a little rack back there where you could put things like brooms, and cargo holders and things like that. And I'll unsnap my broom, and I'll go in the back of the trailer, and I'll sweep it out, and it's clean.
Yeah.
So when the next guy gets it, and he inspects the trailer, he'll find that it's clean back there. So that's my routine as far as making sure that I maintain a clean trailer for the next run.
Right. You said there's some people that are doing that in bad places.
Yeah, some people, if I go to a truck stop, sometimes I'll notice that maybe someone has one of those electric air blowers, and they'll blow their trailer out, but all the debris that they have just goes right out into the grounds, which is not the best thing in the world for people to be doing. And then other people, I've seen them, they sweep it out at a truck stop, and all the debris that's on the back, they'll just go ahead and just dump it right on the ground. So I mean, that's unsightly. When you go and spend your time there, it's just an unsightly thing that someone would do that. I mean, I've had occasion to be at a truck stop and swept out the back of my trailer, but anytime you go to, and here's my tip, anytime that you go to a truck stop, they usually always have a trash container. So you take the trash container, you take it to the back of your trailer, you sweep it out, you put it into one little pile at the end, and then you can just sweep it right into the trash container. Yeah. And then you put the trash container back where you found it. Yeah. And then everything stays nice and clean.
Yeah, it's a good tip.
So that's the very best thing that I think you can do, in a situation like that.
Nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
Can we talk trip planning?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. How do you trip plan? What's that look like?
Now, see, trip planning with what I do is easy. Right. Because it's a dedicated run.
Sure.
So you do the same thing every time.
Right.
After you've done it a few times, it's like second nature.
Sure.
Now, if you're a road dog, or the guys, that's the nickname that they call guys that just get on the road and they just go any place.
Right.
Who knows where I'm going to be going tomorrow? Who knows where I'm going next week? Yeah. But as soon as you get that the job sent to you, where you're going, it's always best to look it up on the map where you're going, how long it's going to take you to get there.
Yeah.
Where's a good place that you should stop to take your 8-hour break?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, to take your break after driving 8 hours, because once you drive 8 hours, you have to take a half an hour break. So where's that place going to be? Should it be some place that's conducive, or are you going to not do a good job planning your trip like a lot of other truck companies, and you just pull over on the side of the road? Oh, I'm out of time. You pull over on the side of the road, but you're on the side of the road where it may be kind of dangerous for you to be. I've seen, just on this trip alone out here from the East Coast,
right,
I noticed the number of trucks that's on the side of the road. But how about if a driver's a little bit tired?
Right.
And then he's driving along and your truck is just sitting there on the shoulder of the road. He can definitely hit the back of your truck.
Yeah.
And that's not a good spot for you to stop. Make
Right.
sure that you stop someplace, a rest area or something, somewhere. Just plan it out. By the time I do 8 hours, where am I going to be? What's around there?
Yeah.
Plan to stop at that place so that you're in a safe area, and you don't cause anybody else any kind of problems, and thereby avoid having problems yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You want
And
to.
then the same thing, and in trip planning, the same thing goes for when you take your 10-hour break. Where will I be at that time where I'm not going to run out of time? I had to do that on my way here. This trip is different. I don't do this trip every time.
Right.
But I looked and I said, you know what? Amherst, Ohio, there's a rest stop there. That looks good. I said, I'll still have maybe an hour left. So if Amherst doesn't work out, I'm pretty sure within an hour there's going to be other places that I could stop. And Amherst was fine. So I pulled right in there and I took my 10-hour break. So that's the best way to do it. This way you could avoid HOS violations, by planning out your trip that way. And also when it comes to delivering to a customer, Nussbaum has done a very good job of providing notes on what it is that needs to be done once you get there, because you may not know, you've never been there before.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to read those notes.
For sure.
So that you can figure out how to handle that particular delivery and not get on the customer's wrong side. Right. Because I'm pretty sure it's happened time and time again before you ever gotten there. And this way it's a good to know. Then you just handle it like a pro. By just making sure that you stay in contact with the customer or the notes. And if there's anything different about what you see in the notes and what you experience, for sure, it's always a good idea to let dispatch know. Yep. So that they can update, that information for the next driver.
Yep. Good thing to call out, because that changes, a good amount.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Well, you're teaching me a lot of stuff. This four-wheeler. Said road dog, you're a road dog.
Well, road dogs
are
usually the guys that do different things other than dedicated.
Gotcha.
They do something different every day. They're excited to have a new challenge and not do the same thing that they did the day before.
Yeah.
But me having the experience of being a road dog, I kind of like the predictability.
You like the predictability of it.
What I'm doing, because I know what I'm doing. I know when I'm going to exercise. I know when I'm going to take my break. And it's just like I said, it becomes second nature.
Right. Yeah, and going back to Anytime, you said not knowing where you're going to take your break. Anytime does have a lot of facilities. Yeah. I pulled up on their map. You can look and see all the different Anytime gyms across the U.S. So there's lots of them. Yes. But it would be that just more difficult to do it. Right. If you're going wherever.
Well, if you're going to be with Nussbaum and you're going to take advantage of the Anytime Fitness, it's always a good idea to make that part of your trip planning, that you can have the time to make a stop at Anytime Fitness, get your workout in, get your shower in, get your rest in, make your delivery. It could be done. You just got to want to be able to do it.
Right.
And it could be done.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of planning to get there.
It takes a little bit of planning, but you can get it in. You can 4 times a month. It should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if you're just going to get on a treadmill and take a little walk, start off small. Walk a quarter mile. Once your body feels a little bit better, maybe 3/4 of a mile. Yeah. You feel a little bit better, maybe a mile.
Yep.
And you just keep working your way up.
Yep. Start with a little stretching. Just get the foot in the door.
Right.
Foot
now,
in the
I'm
door.
not a kind of a person that likes to do, headphones and earplugs and all these kind of things. I usually pay attention. But the last time I went to Anytime Fitness, I did kind of get into my cell phone where I was looking things up while I was on that bicycle. I usually do 5 miles on a bike.
Yeah.
I looked up after I got done doing what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I did 9 miles.
On the bike?
On the bike.
No way.
I was like, whoa. I said, maybe there is something to putting on some earphones and just kind of like, not thinking about the workout that you're doing.
Right.
You could sometimes get more done because a lot of people, think of that kind of cardio exercise as being boring.
Yeah.
So they want to occupy themselves with something else. So, that was my first time. I tried that out, and then I looked up and I was like, wow, I only wanted to do 5 miles, and I did 9.
9, yeah. Kind of helps from time to time to do that. Yeah. So we talked about health, talked about trip planning. Do you have any other tips for rest stops, things that you like to do?
Okay, here's another thing that I like to do, and this is part of planning. Food. Okay, so my diet basically let's say if I start work on Monday, I'm off every weekend. So when I get off, I'll go home, I'll get rest. I'll get up the next day, I'll go to the supermarket and get produce and groceries for the week. And then what I'll do is I'll prepare greens and beans and onions and tomato and avocado and like good food. I don't really eat red meat. I eat some of the white meat, maybe some chicken or some turkey or salmon, something like that. And I'll take that mixture and I'll put it together, and I'll have either the salmon or the turkey or the chicken. And I'll put it in like a little Tupperware with the portion that I would need for like a meal. And maybe I'll make 6 of those. And then I'll put them in the refrigerator in the truck, carry them with me, and that's what I'll have as my meal.
Yeah.
As opposed to going to like a McDonald's or Burger King or anything. And not only that, but I'm saving money.
Right.
It's a lot cheaper for me to go to the supermarket and buy my groceries and take them with me and have everything that I need in the truck, so I don't have to go to those places, because those foods are very highly processed. There's lots of trans fats in that. There's a lot of sugars, a lot of salts and whatnot, and you have sodium problems and things like that.
Right.
So the funny thing is, since I started working with Nussbaum and started doing that with my diet, my A1C level has come down. My cholesterol level has come down. The amount of fat that I had on my body has come down. And, because of the Anytime Fitness as well, I've added a little bit of muscle, and I've added energy, my energy level.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea, to do that. You save money.
Plan out your meals.
You save money, and you're eating foods that are better, for you. And if you want to snack on something while you're driving down the road, go with carrots, go with apples.
Yep.
Things like that.
Yep.
Fiber, maybe a fiber bar that's low in sugar, low in sodium. I think all of those kind of things will work out well for you.
We had a driver that just joined, and we were asking, "What's your favorite road snack?" He said celery. I was like, "What?
Yeah,
Celery?"
Celery, yeah. That's a good thing, too.
Really?
It's chewy,
Yeah, something to munch on.
Keeping your mouth busy is very important. Another thing I'll do just to keep my mouth going sometimes, if you feel a little bit tired, I'll go with like maybe some spearmint gum.
Yeah,
just kind of like keep it going. I mean, it worked out for me when I was in sports in high school with basketball. It helped out with the nervousness and whatnot, chewing some gum.
Yeah.
You'll notice some of these coaches with these NFL football, you'll see their jaws going a mile a minute. That's right. That's right. The coach for the Seattle Seahawks, he does that all the time.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to fast food? Like, it sounds like you treat it seriously.
Yeah, fast food, I don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm lying to you. Every once in a while I might go to a Dunkin' Donuts, but that's probably about it. I don't do McDonald's at all. I don't do Burger King at all. I don't do Chick-fil-A. I don't do any of those kind of places. I just make my own food.
Yeah.
And it's satisfying.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the results that I'm getting when I do my blood work every 6 months. Mm-hmm. And I'm always coming back with positive results because of that change in my lifestyle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing to do. So looking at just more general life advice, how you got here, some of the stuff you think about. What is the best piece of advice you've ever gotten? Is there something that stands out?
Basically, I'm a mind my own business, kind of a person. Mm-hmm. I always just try to do what's right. I believe in karma, and I believe when you put positive energy into things, you get positive results from that. It may not seem like it at times. You may have to wait for it. Mm-hmm. It may not come when you want it, but it's always on time when it does come. So my best piece of advice that I've ever gotten and experienced and would recommend to anybody is just everyone on this planet should be good to one another. Mm-hmm. And if they're good to one another, I think good positive things will come out of it. Good energy will come out of forging relationships like that with each other. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter where you're from. I mean, like right now we have all these problems with like Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Gaza Strip.
Right.
You hear all these things in the news. But if everybody would just treat each other with humanity, I think this whole planet would be a much better place.
Yeah. Being able to see someone as human,
you're right.
Created in the image of God. Like you're
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where, what I follow mostly in life is very simple. I mean, the Bible is some odd thousands of pages,
right,
with all the different books and stories that's inside there. But the thing that I center my life on is the 10 Commandments. Mm-hmm. If you just follow the 10 Commandments and just do what's right, I think that'll take you a very, very long way in life. And look at other people. Look at how things are from their perspective as well. Mm-hmm. It's not just you and what you think. It's like everybody has a different opinion. Everybody thinks different things about different things.
Yeah.
Well, don't judge them for it. I mean, that's just where they are. So I was always taught to meet people where they are.
Right.
And
absolutely.
It'll take you a long way. Have patience and meet people where they are.
Right. And that's what God does for us. He looks at things through our point of view.
Yes.
He saw that we were messed up, done the wrong thing, and we needed help. He saw it through our point of view.
Right.
And he sent Jesus to come and die for us for our sin, and
that's correct.
So that we could be forgiven. And that's
correct.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I like what you said, that be able to see things through other people, to see other people as human beings.
That's correct.
It's powerful.
That's correct.
Yeah. It's good. What does it mean to be purpose-driven for you personally?
Well, purpose-driven is there's a job that needs to be done. You have a job at hand. Your goal is to do that job to the best ability that you possibly can, keeping in mind the customer, the company that you work for, the people on the road who you share the road with. You just have to have patience and diligence with all of that, and provide the best service that you possibly can by things that I mentioned a little bit earlier here, like trip planning, you should also program yourself to deal with whatever challenge you're going to face. Hey, your night may not go perfectly that night.
Right.
You may break down.
There's going to be hard nights.
Right. There's going to be hard nights. So expect that. Don't get all angry and disheveled because things didn't go your way. Just if it happens, just be prepared to deal with whatever it is that happens and move forward. And always remember, hey, you may not be having such a good time right now, but it'll pay off in the long run. Mm-hmm. You know, everything will be all right. Things are not good today, but there's always tomorrow. Think about tomorrow, mm-hmm. and it'll be all right tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, purpose driven is basically just doing the best you can with what you have, mm-hmm. and just letting yourself know that it's enough. Mm-hmm. You know, you've done everything that you can. Maybe the job could have been done a little bit better, but if you put in your level best at everything that you do, it should come out.
Yeah,
it should come out well.
Giving it your best.
Giving it your best.
Yeah. It's good. If I could sum up a little bit of what you've said, from trip planning to meal planning mm-hmm. to working out, mm-hmm. you care about the little things. Like, yes. You know, you take care of those little things, cleaning out your trailer. Right. You know, that's little. Right. You care about that.
It is. And you know, another great thing about Nussbaum is the trailers mm-hmm. That have God's messages on the side. That is really exciting to be able to drive one of those trailers down the road.
What's your favorite? Do you got one?
Well, I mean, I think they're all good. I like the love above all. Yeah. Because it's generally it's a general statement mm-hmm. That extends to everyone. Yeah. I think everybody could agree with, you know, mm-hmm. love above all. Yeah. And if you follow that, I just kind of think that things will be all right for you in life. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy driving those trailers. I really enjoy sharing that message. Yeah. And it's really exciting when Brent Nussbaum puts out there that somebody in this part of the country read it and saw it and how it impacted their lives. And they were having a bad day, and then they saw that, and God let them know it's going to be all right. Mm. So yeah, I mean, all of that I think is like really, really, really exciting. It was one of the things that actually drew me to work, you know, with this company. It was a faith-based mm-hmm. company. Yeah. And I said, look, if you're going to go with someone who's faith-based, mm-hmm. you can't go wrong. And I have to say, after 3.5 years of working here, mm-hmm. I haven't gone wrong. I've been doing this job. I haven't looked back. Yeah. And I really feel that I made a great decision, you know, by coming. And I'm just so happy that they, you know, decided to hire me and give me a shot. Yeah. No, we're happy you came here. It's a great job, and I would recommend it to anybody that wants to, you know, maybe have a career in trucking. I said, if there's any trucking company in the country to go to, it would be Nussbaum. Yeah. No, it's really cool to hear that. Oh, yeah. And then seeing the stories across the country. Mm-hmm. The trailers are really coveted. Like, people go for, when you're trying to find a trailer, it's hard to find some of those new Psalm ones. Right. A lot of the people go for that. So. Right, and then it also causes them to look up the company, and they go like, "Who's this company, Nussbaum? Let me look it up." And they go and look it up and see what's on the webpage, and it's like, "Wow, look at this! This company's really got it going on." That's what I thought, mm-hmm. and you know, people just appreciate sharing God's message with whoever cares to read what's on the side of those trailers. Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to share for people listening? You know, perhaps to your message to anyone listening? No, just I just feel like people just need to be good to each other, and understand each other, and just think this world, just be a better place to live. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about it. To wrap up, we have a little game. Sure. Called Hot Takes. All right. So a hot take is something that's a controversial statement. Some of them are trucking related, and I'll just read it off, and you can agree with it or disagree on whatever way. So, okay. Sound good? Sure. All right. So I'm going to throw the first one at you. Mm-hmm. Pineapple belongs on pizza. No. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. That was a pretty adamant no. I'm from New York originally, and yeah, we don't put pineapple on our pizza in New York.
Don't mess
My
with
first
that.
experience with that is I went up to Canada.
Yeah.
And someone asked me, "Do you want pineapple on that?" Mm-hmm. And I just looked at them like they had 3 heads. I was like, "What? No."
Yeah.
Of course not.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? No.
Yeah. Android is better than iPhone.
No, iPhone is better.
I didn't know what phone you had, so I went on a whim.
I have an iPhone. I like iPhones. I communicate with all of my family on an iPhone.
Yeah.
And then we have one member of our family who has an Android. And I guess it's the battle between the blue bubble and the green bubble.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've heard the controversy about that. And yeah, we've been having that argument for years. Well, why don't you just get rid of that Android
Right.
and just go with an iPhone?
Yeah.
This way we can all, FaceTime each other, and
Yeah.
it's like we can't do it. You have to go through Messenger and all these different things to get FaceTime, and then the picture doesn't look as good, So yeah, definitely iPhone.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So I have an Android.
Yeah.
And I'm actually considering switching to an iPhone just because of that. Like, I want to be able to, FaceTime family.
Well, they just came out with some technology where you could download some things into your Android to make it act like an iPhone.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Mm-hmm. If you have an iPhone, it's something, I tried it. And I got my iPhone to actually act like an Android.
Really?
But now they reverse engineered that so that you can go the other way and make your Android work like an iPhone. So before you go and invest in an iPhone, maybe you might want to try that.
Hey.
I mean, you'll get the same color bubbles.
Yeah. That's a pro. This guy knows what's up. He's got it going on.
Right.
All right. Socks are feet gloves. The gloves for your feet.
No, they're feet mittens.
Feet mittens?
Yes.
So you agree with it, but just feet mittens?
Yeah, they're mittens, not gloves.
Okay.
Unless you're wearing those socks that have the individual toes to them.
Yeah.
Then they're like gloves.
Then they're like gloves.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're mittens.
Those are kind of strange.
Yeah, right.
This one's trucking related. An atlas is needed. Like, you need to have an atlas. Do you agree with that?
Go back 40 years and ask me that question.
Yeah.
Yes, you need an atlas.
Right.
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we have technology. Now an atlas is good to have in case your technology doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Then it's good. But then the problem is a lot of the younger people, they've never gotten accustomed to how to use an atlas. So if their device goes down, they open up the atlas and they're not really sure how to use it. Mm-hmm. So that's an issue. As we progress in life and technology takes over more and more and more, the manual things from days past aren't passed on to the younger people in this generation, and they kind of miss out on that.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, just like a telephone that has a dial on it. They look at it. How do you use this thing? I remember how to use that. You pick it up and you dial. And look, you go back even before my time a little bit. It wasn't a 10-digit number that you dial. You had to contact an operator, and you had to tell them something like, "I'm from New York," so it was Maury Hill 2224. Right. And that's how they would connect you. And a lot of younger people it goes way over their head.
Right.
They don't know.
No operator.
No. Operator? What are you talking about? Yeah. Maury Hill? What?
All right. Last question.
Yeah.
Napping is productive.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to take your half an hour break, it's nice to go get up out of your seat, take a little walk around in front of your trunk, get into the passenger side, sit down, fold your arms just like this, get yourself in a good position, and let your head rest maybe this way so you don't hurt your neck or whatever.
Right.
And you take a nice little 15, 20-minute power nap. It'll give you the freshness that you need to complete the next hour, 2 hours, or whatever of the trip that you have.
Yeah.
It's better than a cup of coffee.
Yep.
Now, that's for me.
Yep.
And that's the way my body works.
Yep.
I understand everybody doesn't work the same way, but for those of you out there that maybe your body works like how mine does, a power nap is good.
It is.
Just get yourself a nice, comfortable position while you're sitting in the passenger seat, and fold your arms, Make sure that there's no stress on your shoulder or your body anywhere. Everything is nice and relaxed. Take a 15, 20, 25-minute power break.
Yeah.
And after your half an hour is done, you're good to get down the road and finish your day. Yep.
Yeah. There are nappers and there's non-nappers. I feel like there's some people that like it and some people that don't like it. So.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know who's not going to like a good nap. Like I said, to each his own. I'm not going to judge you for it.
Right. Yeah. Good. Well, thank you again. I really, was blessed to have you on today. Going on 14, 15 hours. So you're looking to speed out of here and go to the hotel.
Go to the hotel and take my 10-hour nap.
10 hour.
Yeah. Come back tomorrow and do it all over again.
Oh boy. Yep. So. Yeah, thanks for your inspiration and for taking this time to do this. Really appreciate it. Give it up for Rick Zaky. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you.
It was an honor.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay purpose-driven and own it every moment.
Hi everyone, this is CJ from Recruiting at Nussbaum, and I'd love to answer any questions you have about driving with us. Give us a call at 309-268-1199 or visit nussbaumjobs.com. Talk to you soon.
You've been listening to Terminal Exchange, the official podcast of Nussbaum Transportation. If you're enjoying our content, please leave us a review. Your reviews help us spread the word about these important topics and invite more people into the conversation. You can rate and review us on your podcast app or visit us online at terminalexchange.org. New episodes arrive every other Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow Nussbaum on your favorite social media platforms and be the first to know when new episodes are released. Thanks for listening. Until next time, own every moment and stay purpose-driven.